yeah, this is, again, one of your suggestions. It's actually short. It's actually a brief little video. This is by someone named Yol and Mari, and he is explaining why, as an immigrant, he loves having immigrated to America. So I think this will be interesting because, a lot of people in America right now are, with everything that's going on, this is sort of an immigrant's perspective on America, how things are better. It's a perspective that we don't get very often, honestly. We kind of get it like second or third hand, but this is actually, I think, going to be a first-hand accounting of how much better things are in America for an immigrant compared to where they used to live. So, and yes, Riffin, does. My guess is he probably came from, I have no idea what country he immigrated from, but she'll tell us. There are plenty of countries where, people that immigrate from them love America for a multitude of reasons. So, you think he's from Cuba? Okay, let's take a look.
You see it everywhere. Americans negative on America.
A recent poll shows that America's pride for our nation is at a new low.
I'm 18 years old and I escaped America.
I cannot stand it here anymore. Everything about this country makes me make my fucking stomach bubble the fuck up.
Cannot make the argument that capitalism will do anything but slowly choke our planet to death.
That's why you should leave America.
I hate America so much. The quality of life is so bad.
So I'm not celebrating the 4th of July this year, and I haven't for quite a while, because
God.
I don't really think there's anything to celebrate.
The amount...
And bear in mind here, I have a feeling that all of these little clips that are saying, I hate America, are probably coming from both sides, because guarantee you, her opinion would be colloquially considered left-leaning. She has that feeling like hers would be left-leaning. His probably is too. This news reporter is undoubtedly, it's the damage report, so I'm thinking it's probably right-leaning. He might be right-leaning. This one's definitely right. So it's like, I think it's definitely coming from, like, both sides. This is not a unique I hate America thing. This is not a unique to one side or the other. You're hearing it from both sides for some same, some very dynamically different reasons.
Or the share of generation who is proud to be American is falling off a cliff.
What'd you think about that intro?
To me, they're wrong. Okay, let me explain. Hi guys, me llamo Joel. Hoy quiero hablar algo para mí muy importante y siempre trato de hablar para todos los americanos, la vieja, la nueva generación.
I feel like those people conflate the country with the government. I consider the two to be separate entities. The government is the country's ruling body. Well, Incognito, some of those were talking about capitalism. So they were also talking about, like, corporations ruining America, I suspect. Corey? Okay. I'm gonna be blatantly honest with you. Like, if you're, like, people that say, like, I'm gonna move to Canada. I've heard plenty of people in America, including my own fucking family, saying, we're gonna flee America and we're gonna come move to Canada because America's gotten so bad. Primarily, they are looking at it from political perspective. I would tell you flat out, Canada is no fucking better than America is. And in plenty of ways is worse than America. So people going, we're gonna flee to Canada? Fucking get your head out of your ass. It's not a better alternative, realistically speaking. The fucking Canadian dollar right now is almost half the value of the US dollar. Like, the Canadian currency fucking plunged over the last couple of days. So it is literally only worth about half as much as the American dollar. That's fucking disgusting. And guess where Kaiba, the politics in Canada are just as bad, if not worse, than America. Point blank. It is just as bad or worse. So tell your sister from someone actually from Canada, it's at best a lateral move. At best, it is a lateral move. Yeah, it is. Canada and US in from political spectrum, in terms of how bad things are, they are the same. Possibly K-Dog, like, I don't keep up with the politics in Canada or in the US, but I know the one thing I do know about is everybody fucking hates it.
Here's some more Monopoly money.
Phoenix, thank you for the dono. Thank you so much. It's not Monopoly money. It's just half as valuable as the US currency right now. Oh god, I hate saying that. Oh god. Yeah, but Johnny, this is keeping in mind, up until recently, the Canadian dollar, it was like 80 cents on the dollar for like Canadian versus US currency. Today, it's dropped into the it's in the 60s right now. The Canadian dollar is in like the 60 cents category. Exactly. Mannix, yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm surprised it's that. I'm surprised it's that. I figured it would have been 1 equals 140 something. $1.40 something. Yeah, it's so don't think coming to Canada is some kind of bastion of happiness versus America. It's not.
Generación, ¿por qué deben amar a los Estados Unidos de América? Para mí, venir de un país comunista donde no existe libertad económica, no existe un futuro de vida, llegar a los Estados Unidos fue vivir una película de Hollywood. Ya estoy en Miami.
And now, in comparison, so like we were saying, it depends on where he's come from. He came from Cuba. So he came from a communist country. So yes, to him, America was a bastion. In comparison. It is.
¿Qué piensas?
Alucinante. Es todo lindo por donde quiera que lo miren.
Cuando llegué a los Estados Unidos, mi primera impresión fue cuánta comida había en los Estados Unidos.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Wait. This man ate at a Waffle House and survived. Is he a saint? That's the only rational explanation for being able to dine at a Waffle House and survive. Oh yeah, Robo? I mean, like anybody that comes from a communist country, they come to America and they're like, oh my god, this is a bastion of wonderfulness.
Wow. Para mí fue muy lindo vivir este momento porque siempre lo soñé. Porque siempre quise entrar a un mercado y ver toda esa cantidad de comida, tipos de comida. En mi país no existen los mercados que tienes tú aquí. No puedes usar tu salario para ir a un mercado a comprar la comida que tú quieres.
Wait.
No puedes ir a un mercado y ver toda esa cantidad de comida.
Hang on.
Tipos de comida. En mi país no existen los mercados que tienes tú aquí. No puedes usar tu salario para ir a un mercado a comprar la comida que tú quieres.
Bare shelves are normal. When you do find something, the prices are insanely high. When we filmed this, the average Cuban salary was around $40 a month.
Peppers.
Wow.
And it's $15.
Holy fuck. $15 for a single can of chili peppers. Fuck.
$15.
Me recuerdo cuando tuve mi primer cheque, my first check. Había cobrado una cifra de dinero que a mí.
Yeah, she said that the average Cuban salary is $40 a month. Yeah. And again, it absolutely, this is why when he came from a communist country like Cuba to America, why America seemed like fucking heaven.
De dinero que a mí en 20 años de mi vida vivida en Cuba nunca lo hubiera conseguido.
Oh, you work for UPS.
¿Cuánto gané yo aquí? Porque en mi país no existe eso. No tienes un futuro.
Yo no regresaría a vivir en Cuba porque no me veo un futuro.
Pero sin futuro así.
¿Feliz viviendo en Cuba?
No.
No. ¿Y por qué?
No sé, no me siento libre.
No me siento feliz en Cuba porque faltan muchas cosas. Una, no tengo libertad de expresión.
El otro shock.
Yeah. And here's the funny part that I was just thinking about is, like, all we're hearing about with Cuba is true. Does anybody remember the Michael Moore movie Sicko? Who remembers Sicko? Does anybody remember that movie? Because in that movie, where she was trying to basically say how other countries have it so much better than America when it comes to healthcare, he actually took a bunch of Americans that were ill in some way. Either they had cancer or some kind of chronic illness or what have you. And he went to Cuba and got them and took them to hospitals and pharmacies, and they were able to get full medical care and prescriptions for like next to nothing. So that's whether or not that still exists, because one thing that I've always heard when it comes to Cuba is the one thing that got done right out of everything, out of all the shit that Cuba has done to its people. The one thing I heard that they got right is the healthcare. From what I understand, Cuba's healthcare is quite good and free. Cuba does have socialized medicine. Now, whether or not that has changed, I have no fucking clue. Because it's, from when Sicko came out to now, it's probably been, I think, 20 years. So there may have been a drastic change. Alex, it's one source of where the thing about Cuban healthcare came from. One source. It's not good, it's about getting what you pay for, okay? When he was trying to hide how socialized healthcare is heavily rationed. Okay. And that's the other thing I was gonna say is, Michael Moore showed like one fucking hospital. He had a fucking camera crew. So whether or not it was accurate is a whole other question. That's the other thing. Is like, how accurate was this actually? And I don't know. But that's the one thing I just thought of when they were talking about, like, all those people were saying how they wanted to leave Cuba. Chipper, you're referring to America, right? And you are right. That has been a bone of contention for people in America is America does have good health care. The problem is no one can afford it. And all efforts to try and mitigate that in some way, shape, or form get blocked in every which way but loose. And I think it's because of that, because there are those extremes where America is, you are going to die poor paying for your health care, whereas in other countries you have socialized medicine with healthcare, but other aspects are not as good as America. You have those extremes. And that's why America shits on other countries that have free healthcare that have the socialized medicine, because there are other aspects of their country that are lacking, but they do have the socialized medicine. And Americans will beat their chest and go, yeah, we're kick ass, even though we're putting people into permanent poorhouses if they get so much as a broken bone. So, because the people in charge in America are not actively trying to come to some kind of middle ground to mitigate this in some way, it's never going to end. So, the replacement was 6-month wait time, came here and doesn't let. Yeah, Alex, I've heard the same thing. But the difference being is that with the person from Australia, how much did he have to pay for it? That's the thing. How much did he have to pay? Anyway, that's just something I was thinking of. I don't want to go down the whole rabbit hole of the U.S. defends all those countries and they're not paying their fair share to the UN. Quite frankly, I don't care about that bullshit right now. YouTube? Because I know YouTube's gonna at the fuck out of me in the comments. Don't. I'm very aware of the whole fucking thing about about other countries supposedly not paying their fair share, and that's how they have socialized medicine and all that nonsense. YouTube, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not fucking care. I don't. I care about people being able to receive medical care that they need and not having to basically go into the fucking poorhouse and file for bankruptcy for it. Okay? Cool.
Para mí fue que puedo protestar por lo que siento, que puedo hablar por lo que pienso. Me pasó mi primera protesta, me sentí alguien importante para la sociedad. Este país me lo ha dado. Mis 35 años de mi vida nunca tuve esa posibilidad. Otra posibilidad que tuve en los Estados Unidos fue las muchas experiencias que viví, las nuevas y sobre todo la cantidad de cultura que hay.
Okay. Heard you shit. Wow.
Going up and down like hydraulics, you know? Then you do the movement of that.
First time with Chicanos. Okay.
Dale.
First snow.
The feels.
Siento en el aire. Ya, corazón.
Oh, medieval times.
Cómo viven el deporte aquí es alucinante.
Good. Wow! First time meeting Santa. Well, that's pretty bad that they didn't have people doing Santa in Cuba. That's really sad. Didn't even have Christmas gifts. Oh my god.
Emocionante.
A mí me da alegría because this moment is happy for me, because many of my people dream with your life. For example, 4th of July is Independence Day for everyone here. When I'm from el día de la independencia en mi país, a saludar los dictadores, a saludar los políticos. When I see my first 4th of July here, fuegos artificiales, conciertos de música, it for me was happy because I never have it that. I was never happy that. Every day celebrate. When you wake up in the best country in this world. I know it's many things is difficult. I know, I understand that. But you have the possibility to fight it for that. You have the possibility to go to the street and protest for that. I never have it that. Nunca la tuve. Just think about it, American people. You teenagers, you old people, you everyone. Go outside and just say, I love America.
God bless America! America!
Yeah, I mean, for someone coming to the United States.
America's current problems with unchecked capitalism or devolution of societal culture are huge problems that has caused this. So we need to bring that back under control. However, despite America's issues, there is a reason why the U.S. in less than a century went from just another country to the world's most powerful superpower to ever exist, and is still one of the most immigrated to countries in the world. You don't see people tearing down the borders of places like Venezuela to get in hot take.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that America is the people that want to immigrate to America. All ones that are coming from countries predominantly that are capitalist societies and in very poor economic states. Cuba, being the perfect example, is a communist state with ungodly horrible wages. A lot of people coming from South America, where you're having dictatorships. A lot of people coming from Russia, where you are having basically the same thing, despite the fact that it is a president. Poland, you have a dictator there. Mexico, where the cartels are in charge. You have to remember that people that are migrating to America are migrating from countries that are third world. That's the one thing to remember. Because Canada, it's the same for Canada. We have so many people immigrating now. When Canada relaxed its border requirements, a fuck ton of people from East India and Pakistan and that region of the world flocked to Canada in droves, and it got to the point where they're having to severely cut back on immigration now because now it's creating a population and housing problem. But again, it's because they're coming from countries that treat the citizenry like shit. And again, my point there is it's not just America. It's also Canada.